Hey YouTube, it's Christina from Keystone Beauty here, and this is another episode for high school tips, and it's not really beauty related because I feel like this topic is very important, and I will just share kind of how I went about some of this stuff, and this is definitely on bullying, and this is not just for high school. I know that middle school and elementary school, it all is that way. So whatever grade you're at and you're watching this, I really hope this helps you out. I'm not really organized with my videos, so I'm just kind of probably ramble on, but hopefully this is helpful. But bullies, bullying, sorry, that's really hard for me to say, or bullies. I know that it's really hard to deal with that every day or deal with that some of the time. Um, I don't know, it's hard, but being a kid and being told certain things or things happen when you're a kid, you don't feel as confident, and you don't know how to react or how to do things in certain situations. So I know that it's hard to do. But my advice for you, when you're in a situation where someone's bugging you or saying certain things to you, it's really hard to ignore it. And I know that is something really hard to do. I know that. And my advice to anybody when I actually experience somebody talking to me about bullying and how or people saying things to them, I always tell them, you know, you can't really change that person, but you can change yourself or how you approach the situation. Just to say someone's calling you names or someone's saying something about you that's not true. I always tell the kids to say, I don't care what you say. I don't care, I know it's true. I know what's the truth, make them know that you don't care what they say to you, that you don't appreciate what they're saying, but you don't care what like it doesn't affect you, you know. And I know that I had some problems in middle school with a certain person, and I mean, it was a very weird situation and weird story, but ultimately ended up being this girl had a problem with me. Actually, a couple of my friends too, but I don't know why she targeted me the most. It was weird because I wasn't the only one she had a problem with, but she targeted me the most, and I'm targeting by as in she would actually verbally say things to me. She would threaten her big sister to beat me up and stuff like that, and she would cuss at me. She would call me the B word, and like she would literally follow me around during break time in middle school and try to get in my face. I mean, she never physically did anything about it. She just would kind of say things to me. And if you're in a situation like that, when someone's just literally, talking up a storm about things, but they never do it, then that really does indicate that they just kind of want to say things to you. They're not going to actually do anything. I mean, it's possible they will, but if you can tell that all they're doing is just kind of saying things, um, I know that it's really hard to ignore that because I had nowhere to go. All I had to do was walk around with my friends, and that person would just be there trying to bug me. It's not really fun to go to the office every day and say this person won't leave me alone. Um, I guess my best advice for you, because I know that I went to the office and I did talk to them about it. My parents talked to them about it. They didn't really do much about it. I honestly think they can't do much about it. If they don't touch you or anything, they told me to write down everything that she did, what she said, and they didn't do anything. That's all they really did. I mean, she got to go to the office and got talked to. But my biggest advice really is if someone is saying things to you, bugging you, I would say um, talk to that person if they're just saying all this stuff to you. Try to figure out why they're doing it. I know that I kind of had an idea of as into why she was doing things to me. And once you really sat down with that person, or not literally sat down, but once you actually really talked to that person and kind of tried to understand why they did it, they're doing it, sometimes I can resolve a little bit of things, and sometimes they can back off. And I'm saying sometimes because obviously there's just some people out there that just don't care and they don't want to listen to what you have to say. But a lot of the times, if you really just stick up for yourself and say some things instead of just breaking down and being sad and giving them exactly what they want and making you feel bad about yourself or making you upset. If instead of you really say, "Hey, what is your problem? Why are you doing this? We need to stop this." Um, Sticking up for yourself is probably the key thing. Communication. And I know that it's kind of hard when you're a kid because you feel all these emotions when these people do this to you, and I know that it's hard to try to work things out when you're a kid because one, it probably feels extremely awkward, and then two, you probably don't know what their reaction will be when you talk to them. But my biggest advice is to talk to them because, like I said, I did kind of go to the office. I did try to get people to help out, but they really can't do anything. If they're not physically doing anything to you and all they're doing is, you know, talking smack about you and spreading things about you, if that's all they're doing, I don't really think adults could really help you out. So you kind of need to take the action and take that step of standing up for yourself. Don't go up and be like, I'm going to beat you up, but talk it out as much as you can and see what happens. Um, in high school, I really didn't have much of a problem with bullying or anything. I mean, people would say things, either really sarcastic, rude things or a couple of things, but I didn't really have a problem. And that's really all it is in high school. I don't think there's really big issues. There might be some bunch of drama because girls are dramatic in high school. I mean, anytime actually, middle school. But anyways, if you try to take yourself out of that drama and not try to avoid it as much as possible, it's really easy to get out of that. But if you're having issues in high school, I suggest you to do the same thing I said in the middle school. Tell them that this is not good. You don't like this. Why are you talking to me like this? What's your problem? Try to work it out as much as possible. And so a lot of times there's people who will back you up, and that'll usually stop the issue. And like I mentioned before, you can't change people. The only person you can change is yourself. All you gotta do is change your attitude towards that person's negativity. Just tell yourself you don't care what they're saying. It's not true. You are not that way, and it's hard to hear those words every day, or hard to hear those words a lot. And I understand that. But if you just keep telling yourself that that's just that person, they have issues, they need to, work out whatever they have in their life, so they can stop bullying people, surround yourself with friends that support you, then I think that's the best way you can get around all that bullying, and definitely try to communicate with that person. That's the best advice I can give you because ultimately, there's always going to be negative people out there, no matter how hard you try to stay away from it. Sometimes people like to see those good people out there, and they like to just target them, and it's weird. But like I said, I didn't really have issues in high school. I mean, people kind of just said things out loud, but that was about it. You just ignore those comments, or like I said, just say, "Hey, what's up with you? What's up with you?" If you point out, what they said, and you can think of a smart remark back to them, like something that would probably stop them from talking to you again, then probably try to figure that out. Because I mean, if you kind of been around people long enough, you kind of understand how to deal with certain things they say. But I don't know. I hope you guys kind of follow along well in this video, but I mean, really can't do that much when it comes to this topic. Like, ultimately, you just kind of have to stand up for yourself and change the way you think about that person. Just kind of whatever that person just has issues, or if you did try to talk to them and they ultimately kind of stop, but they still have issues with you and will glare at you or whatever, just ignore that. Just tell yourself whatever, I don't care. It's really hard to do, but try to do something like that. Try to just ignore it. Try to just surround yourself with your friends. I don't know. That's kind of what worked for me for the most part. But yeah. I mean, if you're this is the last part, sorry, I know I'm rambling, but if you're one of those personalities where it's hard for you to make friends, and maybe you're kind of socially, awkward, you just kind of feel awkward on people, I mean, if that's what's kind of hard for you to stick up for yourself. I just kind of encourage you to try to do that. Encourage you to try to find friends. And I mean, there's always someone out there who can relate with, you know. If you can't really do that, find a pastime that you really like. You know, maybe you like singing, you like band. Try to find something that makes you happy. Because if you're not gonna be happy, then the bullies and the words and stuff are gonna affect you more than it should. I mean, you don't deserve to hear things like whatever you hear, but try to make yourself happy so that you can, effectively get yourself out of the situations that these people sometimes will put you in. And I guess that's really all I have to say about this topic. Hopefully that you can get some inspiration for this. I know it's really hard to deal with. I know that. I didn't get really bad bullied. I didn't really have any, issues as much as some people, but I really encourage you to, maybe this video helped you out. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say. And I'll talk to you guys pretty soon, and have a great day. Bye.